Only these people can make it seem as if eating right or eating healthy is a bad thing. Death cult. This is death cult. Hey guys, it's Jermaine and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Jermaine. I make videos about the fat acceptance, fat liberation, body positive movement. I share with you guys my thoughts in this community and also how they influenced my life back when I was obese myself. I believed in a lot of their teaching, I followed a lot of their ways, and then somewhere along the way I had an epiphany, I changed my life, and now I'm here making videos exposing this movement. So if you're into those kind of videos, you'd like to hear my take and stuff, then you might want to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And if you're returning to my channel, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being a part of my little family here on YouTube. I love you guys and appreciate you so much. Now, do I have a video for you today that's gonna piss you guys off? I'm just gonna get straight into it, okay? This is an article from the New York Times by a fat activist named Virginia Smith. There was an entire documentary apparently done with this lady where she shared about how she raised her children up and some of her beliefs when it comes to food and nutrition and things like that. I read this and guys, this was so infuriating. I just needed to share it with you guys. The title of this article literally is "Let Them Eat Everything." In the age of Ozempic, the fat activist Virginia Smith is inspiring and infuriating her followers. Okay, I'm not a follower, but I'm infuriated. I love how they paint an entire picture of what's going on in her house when they were doing this interview. And it starts off with, "The sheet pan chicken and roasted broccoli are out of the oven and white rice is steaming on the stove." Virginia Smith, who has spent a decade writing about how women think and feel about their bodies and how they pass along those feelings to their children through food, is about to serve dinner to her daughter Violet, 10, and Beatrix, 6. Smith tries not to be a short order cook. "Respect the labor" is how she puts it, reminding her children that if they don't like what she's prepared, there's other stuff in the house. A pull-out shelf in the pantry holds Tate's chocolate chip cookies, goldfish crackers, pea snaps, and chocolate kisses. There are raspberries and grape tomatoes in the fridge. It literally starts off with some of the most ridiculous lines. Childhood obesity is not a myth. It's a real thing. There are really lazy parents out there or uneducated parents who feed their kids with highly processed foods, zero nutrition whatsoever, foods that are high in sugar and salt, and have no accountability whatsoever. This is a real thing that actually exists. So what are you saying? Like your kid tells you, "No, I don't want to eat this rice or broccoli or whatever chicken that you've made." You're going to be like, "Oh, that's okay. Go eat those chocolate chip cookies," or literally she says chocolate kisses. Those, like, you guys know what chocolate kisses are? Like, go eat that for dinner instead. If you don't want to eat nutritious food, it's fine. Go eat some chocolate and some chocolate chip cookies. Huh? Because it's all the same thing. She had a 5-hour interview for herself to just sit and blab some nonsense to the interviewer. Let's go on. What Smith hopes to model, she said in a 5-hour interview at her home in Cold Springs, New York, is that you can be a mom who doesn't live solely in service of other people. That you deserve time to yourself and that you're a person with needs, that those needs matter. This is in the context of her saying if she makes dinner and the kids don't like the dinner, she goes on to tell them to eat chocolate chip cookies. She tells them, "If you don't like the dinner I made, it's fine. I'm not about to make any alternative dinner for you or figure out what you would eat and make it for you. Instead, just go eat some chocolate chip cookies from the pantry." I'm sorry, but this just sounds like a bougie way of saying you can just be a fat and lazy mom who doesn't care about her kids' nutrition. Fat acceptance trying to normalize the most bizarre things, like replacing actual nutrition with chocolate chip cookies just because, what did she say? That you deserve time to yourself and that you're a person with needs and those needs matter. When I was a kid, I shared this in a video before. When I was a kid, I had eating problems. I was a very picky eater. I was extremely underweight and it was like really unhealthy. And I remember my mom would make dinner, and whatever dinner that she made, 90% of the time I was not eating it because I didn't like rice. I didn't like all the meat and those kind of stuff. It was not my thing. So my mom would alternatively figure out something else that would still provide me nutrition but was healthy and something that I would actually enjoy eating. So she would make me like mushroom soup and then she would like toast some bread for me to eat it with the mushroom soup. Or she would even sometimes just give me those baby foods. She would figure out something else that would still be nutritious and I would actually eat it. Not go eat chocolate, Jermaine. Oh, you don't feel like eating the dinner I made? Oh well, that's okay. Here's a bar of chocolate. Go crazy. Because I deserve time to myself and my needs matter. I'm not about to figure out an alternative for you just because you don't want to eat the nutritious food that I already made. Then don't have kids. Why do you have kids? A year ago, Sol Smith published Fat Talk, Parenting in the Age of Diet Culture, a guide to helping parents grapple with their discomfort and anxiety about weight and food. At the moment when Ozempic-like drugs are enabling people to become thin, Sol Smith has become one of the country's most visible fat acceptance activists, calling out the bias and discrimination faced by people in bigger bodies, especially from doctors and research scientists. Because there is proof that your body being fat is bad, it's dangerous, it can cause health conditions. So yeah, of course, researchers and scientists and doctors are going to point it out. Like, I mean, so I'm sorry, what do you expect them to do? It's like the smoker being mad that doctors and researchers are pointing out the dangers of smoking cigarette, the damage it's doing to people's body. Imagine like smokers being pissed at that. There's such a bias against people who smoke cigarettes from doctors and scientists, researchers. Like, why you guys gotta go point out all the lung disease and stuff and associate it with cigarette smokers? They're just doing their job. This type of parents need to go to therapy and fix yourself and your issues and not push your trauma on your kids. You had a bad experience with diet culture. You had problems with your weight. But guess what? That doesn't change the fact that overeating is bad, that nutrition is crucial. Kids come into this world normal and their home and their surroundings shape them. So if you don't view healthy foods as diet foods, neither will your kids. If you educate your kids on what nutrition is, your kids would know that. But if you go and associate nutrition with diet foods, of course, like, that is a bad thing. Why would you want to do that? I'm guessing that this woman wants to eat her donuts for dinner. She has no healthy practices whatsoever. And so, of course, she's going to push that same disgusting practice on her kids. Which sucks because you get to play a part in shaping their palate and introducing them to nutrition. But instead of doing that, this is what she says. She asserts in her own right to be fat, the preferred adjective in her corner of the internet. In Sol Smith's house, there are neither good or bad food.
So when it comes to the right way to eat, just eat whatever you want.
Nor healthy or unhealthy ones. Donuts and kale hold equivalent moral value and no one polices portion size. By relieving herself and her family of rules about eating, Sol Smith believes she will have a better chance of raising children who are proud of their bodies, trust themselves to enjoy their food, and leave the table when they're full. She serves desserts and snacks like Cheez-Its along with dinner entrees. Her kids can eat their meals in any order. Who's gonna tell her? The fact that these people believe they can fix one problem by creating another one is crazy. Children need rules. Children need structure. It's terrifying that a grown-up adult who's been entrusted with the life of these tiny children has this type of belief. After you, my parents whom I trusted, have destroyed my body with childhood obesity, or maybe they don't get obese, maybe lack of nutrition because you're letting them eat chocolates and chocolate chip cookies for dinner, telling them donuts and kale are the same. So after you destroy my body, you want me to be proud of it? You entrust me to be proud of it? She said she trusts her kids to enjoy their foods and leave the table when they're full. She serves desserts and snacks together and they can eat them in any order that they want. What is happening? Am I crazy for saying this? Am I being too close-minded? But I really believe that children need structure. When I was a little girl, my mom would tell me after I eat my dinner, I get a piece of chocolate like Ferrero Rocher or Toblerone. Those were my favorite when I was a kid. Like, if I eat my dinner, then I get like one piece of chocolate. Like, that was what my mom would do. Or a cup of ice cream, like a small cup of ice cream. It's dessert, it's portion control, and it's something to look forward to after your dinner. I don't know, call me crazy, but those kind of teaching kind of stuck in my head because as an adult now, I know that if I go and eat chocolate or chips before I eat my dinner, that's gonna be like my meal because that's high caloric, that is extremely unhealthy, it's full of sugar, it's so processed. If I eat that first, I'm not gonna have space for my dinner. The whole purpose of you eating that after dinner is because you're full and you're satiated, that you wouldn't eat too much of the bad stuff. But then this woman also believes that kale and donuts are the same. She literally says it. Donuts and kale hold equivalent moral value and no one polices portion sizes. Guys, there is no way there's anybody commenting on this video and telling me that Jermaine, you're being too close-minded. Stop attacking mothers. If that happens, I really don't know. Maybe I'm just on the wrong side of the internet. I became obese when my mom was no longer a housewife, when she had to go into the workforce and there was no one really supervising and watching my eating. That's when I became obese, because I just ate whatever I want, whenever I wanted, and there was no one to watch me. But when she was around, I had structure. And that's what parents are supposed to do. Parents give children structure. It makes you feel safe. It makes you know that your needs are met. Without structure, if you go tell me, okay, go to the kitchen and just eat whatever you want for dinner, that is not normal for a kid. Her kids are what? She said 10 years old and 6 years old? Fat Talk is in a way Soul Smith's manifesto of liberation from what nutritionists call diet culture. The enormous pressure American women in particular feel to be thin and to raise thin children. For many years, she covered health, including for the New York Times. Who covered health? She? The one who believes kale and donuts are equivalent. For many years, she covered health, including for the New York Times, and her reporting on the pursuit of thinness prompted her rejection of it. I find it odd that they always link health with thinness, or nutrition with thinness, or nutrition with thinness. You can be healthy without being thin. There are people who are a little bit on the voluptuous side who are super healthy. In fact, there are people who gain weight after being healthy. Like they were so skinny, they were so thin, and then they started practicing good nutrition and they started eating healthy and they started taking care of their body, and then they ended up gaining weight. So I don't know where you get this idea that thin means healthy. Like there are so many models who come out and talk about how unhealthy their eating pattern is, or even ballerinas who talk about how unhealthy their eating pattern is to do what they do. So I don't know why you keep thinking, or why these people keep saying thinness equals health, unless these people view anyone under like 300, 200 pounds as thin. Then I guess we are all models. We're all skinny. Oh my gosh, I'm so skinny. Why does fat acceptance love to lump it together? Because I don't want to eat healthy, so it'll be easy if I can just lump eating healthy into diet culture and thinness. Only these people can make it seem as if eating right or eating healthy is a bad thing, and eating a dozen of Krispy Kremes is the way to go. Which makes sense, which is also why doctors would be the villains in their stories, because they point out your bad health and your bad lifestyle. Death cult. This is death cult. That's mostly it about the food part of the article, because then she goes on to say how heterosexual marriage itself might be a diet. And then how divorce should also be normalized. And then she hangs this picture of herself in her house. It's a portrait of Mummy's fupa. This is for her kids to look at every day and see what they should aspire to be. Be like Mummy. There is a huge difference between restricting your kids and like controlling too much and not letting them live and be kids and eat snacks here and there. There's a difference between doing that and giving them no structure whatsoever when you've been entrusted to create structure for them. To create a home where they feel safe. Not push your trauma, not push your bad views on healthy foods onto your kids. Kids need structure, kids need rules. Call me close-minded, that's what I feel. If you cannot provide your kids structure, then just don't. Just don't even do it. Don't have kids. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I feel like these people are just one step away from saying things like, if my kid doesn't want to go to school, I'll just let them lie on the floor in the house and just stare at the ceiling all day. She's one step away from saying stuff like that. I don't force my kids to wear clothes. I just let them run around the street naked. And if people look at them weird, then the people are the problem. I just want my kids to be comfortable in their bodies. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. The links are in the description box below. And I'll see you guys in my next video.